It's Wednesday, March 21st, 2012. You've tuned in to the 404 show on CNET TV. I'm Jeff Bacala.
And I'm Justin Yu.
And this is the show where we take Katie Linendoll to sleepaway camp.
Yay! Yay!
We're very excited. On the program today, Katie Linendoll in the studio. What's up, Katie?
Hello.
How
I'm
are
excited
you?
to be here.
You are. I see that. Thank you so much for being here. We know you're very busy these past couple weeks. You got a lot going on. And you've taken some time out of your schedule for us.
Yes.
That means a lot.
There's two very big things that I was very excited about when Katie came in.
Uh-oh. What's that?
A, she came in early, which I think is always awesome
early.
for a guest.
Always early.
Very-
I respect the hell out of that.
cool.
I really do.
Number two, she brought us gifts, you guys.
Dude.
Toads brought gifts.
That never happens.
I
Tech
mean-
Santa.
Tech Santa.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You really are.
What are we going to do the gifts? Should we do it right now?
I
Meow.
want to do it right now.
Look at this wrapping paper,
Whoa.
by the way. Can I hold on to this after?
For sure.
I'm going to keep the wrapping paper.
So Katie brought us gifts for people who are just listening to us, and no one's ever really done that. Like, Jill got us some stuff.
Right.
That was nice for our 1000th episode.
We had to do 1,000 episodes to get a gift, though.
Yeah. I mean, what do we just have to have Katie on once, and she comes bearing gifts.
Incredible.
What's amazing about this is that, this is totally unsolicited. We weren't like, Katie, be nice.
Hey,
We brought some
don't
gifts.
come
That'd be
empty-handed,
kind of
Katie.
cool. Okay. No, she comes. She's like, I'm bringing gifts. This is happening.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. I'm going to preface the whole thing and say thank you.
For sure.
A preemptive thank you.
For sure.
So, all right, how are we going to divvy these
Okay,
up?
well-
Let's get down to brass.
Well, you've got the iPhone.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do have the
Okay,
iPhone.
so I brought you something from the show. The
Okay.
new Spike show, which we'll be talking
Yes,
about.
we will.
This is actually working out well because I actually brought this specifically for you.
Oh, my
And then we'll hook up
goodness.
Richard, too.
Yeah, Richard.
Because that would be really totes awk if we was like sitting there and I'm like, oh, you guys got presents. You did.
Richard.
And this.
And you got Richard an old LP or something. No, I'm kidding. All right, so let's cut through the old crab cake here and
presents.
let's open this up. This is like
Presents in
perfect.
binary wrapping paper.
Yeah. Oh my. And you said where'd you get this from?
The wrapping paper?
The
The
wrapping
wrapping
paper?
paper's from Think Geek.
Yeah.
Naturally.
cool.
Totally.
Obviously. All right.
What?
What? Oh,
this?
you are
Yeah, yeah.
serious?
For sure.
Did I just get an R2D2 little?
Grab his handles
What is?
on the sides.
Oh my
the side?
God! This
Like
is
this.
Am I
You're
grabbing?
gonna squeeze his legs.
cool.
Oh, it squeeze his legs.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, shut up.
What?
Is this happening? What's happening?
Do we have a new best friend?
This is fantastic.
This is cool.
Oh,
and
this
then
is so
I got
cute.
a rocket
You got-
launcher.
Yes, this is also this is featured on our show recently on Spike, and it's an $80 missile launcher. And let me tell you something, it's incredibly durable. It shoots 4 missiles up to 25 feet, and it's charged for you. So all you have to do is download the free app.
That's
No
so
way.
cool. And
Oh.
it runs on Bluetooth, so you can
Yeah.
control it with your
Oh, we got to
iPhone.
do this
Yeah.
during the break or something.
Yeah,
Get that set up.
definitely.
This is, dude,
So
Katie,
cool.
you're amazing.
Yay,
Thank you
fun.
so much.
Toads.
Seriously, thank you.
Richard, what'd you get, dude?
I got this Angry Birds game.
Mhm.
Or I mean, book.
Book.
Angry
Cookbook.
Birds
Cool.
book.
It's a cookbook.
Yeah.
Oh my
a
God!
cookbook.
So it's just like eggs and bacon. Is that? That's like the only. Is that? That's amazing. Oh, that's so cool.
And
An Omega Man drink.
Whoa.
Nice.
Pretty rad.
Yeah.
Mega
You-
Man energy drink. You'd be like Fire and Dust Man. Forget it.
Oh, Woodman.
I
better
don't
watch
even want to
out.
read how much sugar's in that.
Yeah, seriously. Wow, you're amazing. You're. This is so
Yay.
cool. Thank you so
Definitely.
much. Wow. Look at that. I was thinking it's never gonna get old. Wow, that's amazing. Okay. How are we gonna follow up now?
Yeah.
Show's over.
How do we
Show's
transition
over.
out of
That's
this?
it. All right. Well, Katie, you come bearing gifts. Let's talk about what's going on in your life right now. You are the host of Spike TV's brand new program, All Access Weekly.
Very
Tell us
exciting.
all about this program because this
Very
sounds
exciting.
pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, I've had a long journey in
Yeah.
tech.
For sure.
And it's been pretty interesting. And recently with this new Spike show, so the Spike show is called All Access Weekly.
Okay.
It airs Thursday at midnight starting tomorrow.
So tomorrow night at midnight, set
Correct.
your DVRs, or you're going to be home anyway. Watch it live, why don't you?
Correct.
Here's the website on spike.com. Everyone
Yeah,
can
and
check
we'll
out.
have a brand new site up probably within, it might actually be launched.
Yeah.
Hey, there you are.
Okay,
You already
there
got
There
to
she
she
meet
is.
the
fast.
host.
Look
This
at
is
that.
just
Meet the
launched.
host. Let's meet the host. All right. That's sick. So congrats on that.
Yeah, we cover all things video games, tech, innovations, and comic books.
Sweet.
It's like, again, a dream gig. And we're wrapped around 3 big events a year. So CES, Comic-Con, and E3
Okay.
are flagship shows.
Right.
We cover those the entire span live for like 4 to 8 hours a day.
That's awesome.
And then weekly, my focus is really on bringing exclusives, which is what I've done on the CNN and CBS side in my past. So first looks, awesome gadgets, little roundups. We even have some like games in there for the audience. There's a live audience, and we tape out of, get this, I feel like my whole career is coming full circle. My childhood, we tape out of the TRL studios.
No.
We have a brand new set in there because it's under the Viacom umbrella.
Right.
Spike. So it's awesome. It's a lot of fun in a live audience.
So there's like Carson Daly's little footprints
Right.
there when you walk in. That's
Right.
that's freaking rad.
That's
Very cool.
You can see people holding their posters down on
Katie,
42nd
give me an
Street.
R2D2.
And I totally do lots of giveaways, and
Yeah.
like I get a lot of audience interaction. It's
For sure.
a lot of fun. And the guests already have been, because you have such a wide range, like from video games to comics to tech in itself.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we're doing stuff with Stan Lee. We have Joe Kelly from who's created the new the new Ultimate Spider-Man. He's worked on X-Men and Spider-Man on the comic book side. And Shannon Elizabeth's on our next show next week. So like it's really wide range of guests, but like all very interesting.
For sure. That's really cool. I love awesome guests.
Right.
I love awesome
It
guests like
makes
Katie.
all the difference.
For
does
sure.
it not?
Clearly, look
Yeah.
what's happening now.
And everybody's a geek now, so you can pretty much have anyone you want on the show. You were telling us before we started today that you have a very geeky past, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, I want to hear more about your geeky past. Like, catch us up to speed.
Yeah.
How did Katie get here?
I've been a nerd my whole life.
Yeah.
So I had my networking certs at 17.
Really?
And it was actually really bad. So like in high school, like all my friends were like, you know, in glass blowing class and like cheerleading school. I was like on the Civil War Club, electrical wiring, earning my networking
Soldering.
certs. You know, and I was just like, I'm just doing my thing.
Yeah.
I've just always been involved in more on the hardware side too.
For sure.
And I got my degree in IT New Media from Rochester Institute of Technology.
Right on.
I was big into coding. I can still heavily code.
Really?
Yeah.
You still do that? Like,
Well, now it's hard because I've moved so consumer focused, which
Sure.
is like, I say now it's a full-time job, and you know this, to stay on top of technology
yeah.
and all the sites. Like, forget it.
Yeah.
Just in the consumer world alone, full-time job. But yeah, I still can code and I
That-
still kick it.
I'm impressed, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Also, the chat room is freaking out right now.
Yeah.
I think they just want the camera on you full time for the rest of the
We're just gonna do that. Man, we have to forgive us. Our chat room is, they're a little aggressive.
I like
That's
it.
why we, have limited access to that. So
like
you
it.
just can't, we'll censor that whole thing. For you,
Yeah.
don't worry. So that's really cool. What? So you've done a lot of work with other outlets before.
Yeah. So after school, after I got my degree in IT, I started working for ESPN2. I've always been huge into sports and tech, which I might be a boy. I don't know what's going on.
No, I'm pretty
No.
sure that's
No,
not the
it's-
case.
It's not the case, but I have a lot of boy interest.
Yeah.
So I started hosting a show on ESPN2 in New York. And then from there, I became fascinated with the production side of things. So I went to ESPN headquarters in Bristol, Connecticut.
Right.
I worked with ESPN for 4 years. I toured with SportsCenter all over the country.
That's awesome.
I was cutting highlights for Berman on NFL Live, NFL Primetime, Outside the Lines, NBA Fast Break,
Whoa.
Baseball Tonight. I worked on all those shows
Yeah.
for years.
Yeah.
And then I kind of got the experience I needed, learning from like Stu Scott and Berman about
Sure.
about what and what not to do on camera. I
Right.
knew that I had to work behind the scenes to get back on air.
Right.
Like learn from the best and then go back on air.
For sure.
So then eventually I worked, after working for ESPN 4 to 5 years, I went and hosted a show on A&E called We Mean Business. I did tech makeovers.
Real.
That was kind of my parlay back in.
So how did that work?
I worked, Bill Rancic? Bill Rancic, Juliana Rancic,
Yeah.
Disney News.
Yeah.
He and I hosted a show on A&E. It did really well. It was Emmy nominated.
What?
Yeah, he did all the business side. I did all the tech side, and then my friend Peter Gursky did all the interior design. So we went into small businesses and
Right.
did huge makeovers.
Uh-huh.
And it was so interesting. These are for struggling companies that were, trying to live this American dream and $1 million, $250,000 in debt. And we were trying to was redoing all their technology.
Mm-hmm.
And Dell was a sponsor of the show, so I had access to anything that I needed. That was an amazing experience. From there, this is the crazy one in my career. I went to HSN for 2 years. I swear, this is
Very
like a true
cool.
story.
Okay.
I went as their gadget girl
Yeah.
and sold electronics. And like they brought me in to do like a more softer, entertainery type sell.
Yeah.
And kid you not, let me tell you something. Let me enlighten you with how the home shopping network works.
Go on.
It's really hard.
What? Okay.
You have 5 cameras. You
Really?
have somebody in your ear at
Yeah.
all times.
Yeah.
And you see this sign of when people are calling in and buying things.
Okay.
So I was selling everything from GPSs to TVs to routers to you name it, cameras, digital camcorders. And you see when people are calling in and you have no script. Your script is in your head.
Yeah,
you
it's
have an
all
outline.
off the dome.
You'd be like selling your soul out for like a new gateway computer, and it'll be like 4 in the morning. It'd be like sold 5, and then it would be like 4. I'm like, what did I say to have somebody retract?
Returned it?
Like somebody called back within that 30
It's
seconds.
like, you know what? This Katie person's telling me, no, thank you.
Exactly. Like it was crazy to me. So best on camera experience ever, all live. I sold
and there's
$20
a long
million.
time to fill too, right?
$20 million?
Sold $20 million.
Tell me you saw something there.
I was at my run rate. They call it a run rate. I was making like $2,800 a minute.
Whoa!
Not me personally.
But your sales.
They were selling that
My
much
sales.
while you were on air.
Right, and that was like an average. So at last count. So anyways, from there, I was doing A&E back and forth, and I went to CNN, where I've been for the last 2.5 years. Work 2 to 3 days a week.
Yes.
Cover everything very vast, from robotics
So
to
do you know?
innovations.
So do you know our buddy Mark Million?
I've never met him
I
personally.
think he did leave CNN.
Yeah,
though.
he used to be there. He was there for about 2 years.
Yeah,
He's gone.
yeah.
He's the tech editor there.
Yeah, he's very cool. I always read a lot of his
Good
stuff.
people.
Great peoples over at the CNN.
For sure.
CNN's did the early show for 2 years.
Right, that's
Little
right.
Nate Burkus, little here and there,
Our
everywhere.
own little CBS company.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, it's
yeah,
all
it's been a
comes full
journey.
circle.
No.
And then the last stop on your road to success,
The
Forum Bar.
Yay!
You know, where you hit rock bottom. No, I'm kidding. That's awesome. Wow. I feel like we don't need to read the book now.
Yeah,
We
seriously.
know everything.
That's awesome.
This is really cool. We got gifts. We got the whole story. I'm very excited. There's a few things you wanted to talk about today.
Oh, yeah.
In our little rundown. Let's get right into it. Angry Birds. You
Speaking
prefaced
of.
that with the gift for us. That was awesome. Angry Birds Space is on the horizon.
Coming this week.
And it's interesting because they actually had an astronaut preview the game.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, I think it was Don Pettit. He was like the NASA flight
Did
engineer.
you think that was too gimmicky?
I thought it was a little gimmicky, but just to see the anti-gravitation.
It was kinda cool.
I mean, really cool, yeah.
I
it
mean,
didn't really make me want to play the game
Is
more.
it
but...
That's a great question, though. Is it gimmicky?
I mean, we're using an astronaut
Yeah.
to promote Angry Birds.
Isn't he supposed to
Yeah.
discover the cure for science on on a planet somewhere?
Yeah, he should be busier than that.
Yeah. Well, so anyway, whether I don't know. I feel like NASA has become one of these entities where they're just like so desperate for
Right.
publicity.
Well, they threw a Mass Effect up in space, didn't they?
Yeah, they did something like that too. I think.
They did. They launched it into space, and whoever got it, whenever it came down,
that's
whoever
right.
got it, got it.
It's
That's
just like,
great.
all right, they are
What
very
next? Can we
desperate.
brainstorm what the next one is?
They have a good PR team, though, because I remember last year we talked about how they sent up their last consumer flight up into space, their last shuttle. I think this is something that will maybe get kids a little more excited about NASA, put it in their heads.
Well,
maybe get more astronauts later in the future.
How did NASA screw this up, though? Think about it. Every kid in kindergarten, what do you want to be when you grow up? An astronaut.
What do people say now?
I don't know. I want to be...
Podcaster?
No, they want to be a reality star.
Yeah, that's what it is.
They want to be some sort of junkie. Is what they want to be. Yeah, I don't know. How did they lose that? How did they lose the pure imagination of a child?
Right.
And now NASA is just sort of in the dumps.
What boggles my mind more is that Angry Birds is still hugely popular.
That's what blew my mind.
Yeah.
The trajectory was mind-numbing to me, because here, Angry Birds, I'm like, isn't that a little played out?
Yeah.
Isn't everybody done with that? And
I am.
actually, it's on the up and up.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
700 million downloads, 6.5 million alone on Christmas Day. That to me is mind-numbing. And then I was showing you that Angry Birds cookbook
Yeah.
is a snapshot of the much bigger picture. 200
sure.
licensees.
Right.
Movie set for 2014. An Angry Birds theme park.
So there
opening
is a
in
movie
Finland.
coming.
There is a movie coming. And they've actually tapped a lot of the Marvel crew. So they got people behind it, allegedly.
I'm not mad at the movie because I think the Angry Birds brand, they like once you give these guys voices, it's gonna. I hope it's funny people like make. I don't know who to make the red guy, but I'm just saying like, you know what I'm saying? Like they could do it good. I feel like Jack Black's gonna be one of them. He'll be like the bomb guy. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like. Insert real big celebrities into these and it'll work.
Right.
And then the pigs are led by I don't know, John Lithgow or something. You know what I mean?
I don't know if the Rovio brand has jumped the shark.
Yeah,
dude, it definitely. I mean, in terms
But
of,
it's still growing. Like
I
that's the craziness of it all.
I feel like part of jumping the shark is that jumping the shark. While I feel like you and I, we understand it to be like, okay, it's had its run, it's no longer cool, but that's not for the rest of the world. You know what I mean? Like the rest of the world has yet to have their time.
There's also never been another iOS game. I feel like the life cycle for those games are like they're so easily digestible that in another week, something new has come out, like Words with Friends, that's gone.
Draw something.
Now it's Draw
Yeah.
something. Like I'm surprised that Angry Birds has been out for so long.
It's
Are you gonna download it tomorrow? It comes out, right?
22nd.
I think. Yeah. Because you said you got a new iPad,
I do have a new iPad.
and it's gonna look really pretty on that
gonna
screen.
look pretty
Look fancy.
pretty crispy on that HD.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know though. I don't know. I think so. There's new gameplay, obviously, with the whole zero gravity thing.
Right.
Well, I was reading this morning too that Walmart, if you purchase merchandise at Walmart, they'll give you little unlocks exclusive to Walmart. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. So now you have 200 licensees, but now you're also pushing people to go to Walmart to try to unlock levels.
Yeah, it's
But hey, at the end of the day, if you had an estimated worth of what 1.2 billion,
right. No, for sure. I mean,
Insane.
the
Do
proof's
it.
in the pudding. Let's be honest.
Insane.
People can't get enough of these Angry Birds. I remember we were at CS one year, and they had like an Angry Birds board game that
I
resembled.
featured that at CES.
It resembled like Mousetrap,
Yeah.
like that sort of deal.
Yep.
I've also been seeing a lot of Angry Birds branded candy in bodegas
Yeah,
around New
yeah,
York.
yeah.
Have you guys seen that? They're like
They're
little
all about it.
gummies. What? That's so crazy to me. Like,
Right.
It's expanded into all different markets.
It's unbelievable. Let's move along. Airbnb.
Airbnb.
Which we covered. We covered a story from Airbnb, I want to say 4 months ago. Remember the guys that like trashed that dude's house?
Yeah, this was last summer in 2011.
Yeah, so they buy Crash Patter, its largest competitor in the UK. What does this mean? I mean, you have experience with Airbnb.
I do have experience. I think just in terms of trajectory, I was surprised at a consumer level and in talking with people that a lot of people still don't know what Airbnb is.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like they don't really have that much of a marketing.
They did that
do they?
Conan O'Brien set where they auctioned off their set for I think
They
2
did.
nights.
Oh,
And then
okay.
those women just rented it out and slept there overnight.
That's all they did. They didn't have a party or
No,
anything.
they didn't have a party. They literally just slept there while the show was not
They're
taping.
like, this is a poor decision.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable at all.
But I do feel like more and more people are starting to figure out what Airbnb is. It's kind of like
you
an
would
alternative
hope
to
so.
the
I mean, by
hostel.
the numbers.
yeah.
What 192 countries,
Right.
19,000 cities, 5 million downloads.
Nights.
Nights
Yeah.
stayed. That's
5 million
ridiculous.
guest nights downloaded.
Yeah.
That's how our brains work.
Seriously.
If it's not a tech buzzword,
Yeah.
I don't know it.
It's not a 0 or a 1.
4G, LTE, 3D. That's all I know.
So what was your experience with Airbnb?
So I actually like Airbnb, but
Yeah.
I actually like it for. There's 2 things I like it for. When I do on-air segments, I like to touch the quirky because you can rent at pretty cheap. You can rent an island in Fiji for $350 a night. There's a mushroom dome in California that I will mark my words be staying at. It's $90 a night.
That's nothing.
Castles in Ireland for like $300, $400 a night. Castles all over.
Yeah.
The quirky side of it and like boats and that you can actually stay at for
Yeah.
a day or a week or a month, whatever you want, to me is like, that's an awesome option.
sure.
Like really cool if you're going on like a date or something, whatever, with your dude or your girl, whatever.
To each his own.
I like the quirky side of it, but I've also used it a lot because I go back and forth from San Francisco like all the time.
Yeah.
And I use it out there, and it's actually worked out really well. So I sublet a place. It's pretty cheap compared to a hotel. The only thing for me is like the downside is you have to check in, and you're checking in with this random person that you don't know what you're up against.
Right.
And like chat, and I'm like A to B.
Yeah.
I don't want to chat. Like never gonna see you again.
Right.
Like just tell me where the shampoo is.
Sure.
And peace out.
Yeah. Oh, so that's
That's the
odd.
only downside to me.
It's like the pizza delivery guy want to like hang out for a little bit.
Yeah, like
No,
not gonna
dude.
happen.
Get
But part
outta
of that
here.
is also that the host wants to know who's going to be staying in their house with that stuff like
It's kinda like a
last
mini
San
interview.
Francisco- Yeah.
Well, and I feel like that's where the profile comes in. I like that there's
Right.
profiles and reviews on both sides. But I have to tell you, the one time I was staying there, and the chick calls me and she's like, P.S. I gotta come back. I forgot something. This is like 3 days in, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay.
now I have to like clean.
Yeah, this was
Like, this
this has been my place for 72 hours.
Yeah, no go.
Yeah.
Like this is weird.
Yeah.
So I love the pluses, but I also see the minuses.
Yeah.
Have you rented your apartment out to other people
Absolutely
staying in?
not.
Yeah, that's so funny. I feel like everyone's
Absolutely
done the stay at
not.
someone else's, but they
That's
would
funny.
never.
I know people that are making like 5 G's a month
Yeah.
on Airbnb. In New
Subletting.
York especially.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That makes
I
sense.
have too much stuff.
Yeah.
Too many gadgets.
I
To,
hear
like,
you.
forget it. I don't want anybody touching it and messing with
Right.
my business.
I heard a lot of people made money in Austin last week during
Yes.
South
Oh,
by
I'm
Southwest
sure
by
they made a
renting out their apartments
killing.
and Airbnb.
Hell yeah. I would literally have to glue everything to the floor.
Take pictures of every
I
single
would,
location.
that skeeves me out.
Yeah.
Well, you have 50,000 insurance. as a host.
Not
doesn't
enough.
seem
It's
like
not
enough.
enough.
Not enough.
It's not even the money for me. It's like I don't want you touching my stuff.
I don't
I'm
want-
too OCD.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want your, junk in my junk.
What?
You know what I
In
mean?
my bed.
Yeah.
I don't want you sleeping in my bed.
I don't want you doing what you do in my
Uh-uh.
bed. That's for
Yeah.
me to do in my bed.
That's my dungeon.
that's my lair.
Don't touch my cuffs.
Oh man, oh man. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, more with Katie. We'll have a lot more fun. A few calls, perhaps, some more stories.
Yeah.
The possibilities are truly endless. More 404 right after this.
This is the 404 MRFers, the show where we all sing songs.
Oh, Indiana.
Welcome back to the 404. Sorry, little puppy. You broke your little face, didn't you? That was so sad.
Everybody did the same thing. They laughed and then they went, oh.
Oh.
But you've laughed first.
Yes, of course you. You can't not laugh.
You gotta do the oh.
And,
That's gonna be
you know,
later.
not to take any credit away from a dog, but it's like, what were you planning on doing, little puppy?
Yeah.
You're gonna go head first into another dog? I don't understand. You know.
Avoid the other dog at least.
Bacalar, if it was a cat, you would have probably hoped it died.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't.
seriously.
I never.
Satan's
I love.
sidekick over there.
I like that. I do not wish death upon any animal. For
But
sure. I
cats.
love animals, but cats just like if they just disappeared, harmlessly, just sort of evaporated into the
What's your
atmosphere.
problem?
Yeah, the mouse population
they're just so
would increase.
Selfish, man.
You've met
Cats.
terrible
hate
cats. That's your
cat.
problem.
If you died in your apartment, your cat would eat you in a heartbeat.
You're giving cats
Your
bad
cat would be
PR
like,
right now.
sweet. It'd be rubbing its paws together like Mr. Burns, being like, can't wait. Pass the Jeff. That's how selfish
How
cats
dare
are.
you.
No, because growing up, and also I'm allergic, so that also,
Right.
soils the whole thing. Growing up, my aunt had one, and its name was Cat.
Yeah,
Right? I was
okay.
like, cool. This is what
First
all cats
mistake.
must be named.
Yeah.
And this thing was just all the time. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't
Stop
like
touching their tails. They
I'm
don't
not
like that.
touching
Yeah.
their tails.
Stop
They're
picking
too
them
quick.
up by their
They're so
tails.
quick. They don't care.
They're too smart.
And they're
You're
look-
intimidated
look
by
at me.
their
I'm all
intelligence.
nimbly bimbly walking around. Look, I'm like my crap doesn't stink.
Oh, their
I
crap
hate it.
stinks.
I hate cats.
Yeah.
They're stupid.
All right.
You don't walk a cat. Cat doesn't get home from work. Cat doesn't jump in your arms.
How about everybody say something positive
Yeah,
to the
I'm
person
about
on their
to
right?
jump
On
over
their
this.
Justin,
table right
you're a
now.
great dresser.
Thank you very much. Katie, you're a great gift giver.
Thanks so much. Richard, you've been so chill and no issues and drama over there.
Yes.
Respect to.
Thank you. Jeff,
That's not cool.
Jeff,
At least
you're
say something.
doing okay.
At least say something
You
about
couldn't
like,
come up with anything.
Yeah, literally nothing.
That's a red flag
Jeff,
to your
you're
character.
a person.
you're an excellent host of Loaded this morning.
Oh, thank you very much,
Aw,
sir.
That's nice of you to lie.
Appreciate that. Very nice of you to lie
very
in front of
convincing
Katie
liar.
and the entire internet. All 15 people now have a wrong idea about me. No, I did do Loaded today. Thanks for bringing that up. Check out Loaded today and tomorrow. I'm doing Loaded.
Yes.
It's awesome. In place of Bridget, who's in Florida. That's what I used to call Florida when I was a little kid. Are we going to Florida?
I just came back from Florida.
Yeah? What'd you do there?
I did. I went to Disney World.
Oh, no way.
I'm obsessed. That's where your R2 came from.
Oh, sweetness.
Yeah, came from Star Tours.
Oh, my God. That's awesome.
I'm obsessed with Disney World.
Yeah?
One time I went 13 times in 1 year.
What?
True
Wait,
story.
That's more than once a month. I don't understand that.
True story. Well,
Were
when
you
I used
living
to
down
work
there?
with ESPN,
Yeah.
you get a silver pass, which gives
Okay.
you 3 passes for you and 3 friends every single day,
Uh-huh.
and then 50% off everything.
Wait, time out. Is that like the same thing with the little the beeper they give you to cut the line in the rides and crap like that?
I have not graduated to that level to know
Do you-
about the beeper.
Do you know about that sort
I-
of stuff?
I
What
do
is
know
this?
some conspiracy stuff, but whether it's accurate or not, no.
So they will. I know for a fact they do this at Six Flags in Jersey at Great Adventure, which is like the best Six Flags in the country. I'm not gonna. It just is.
Okay.
You can don't be all suspicious. It totally is. They give you you can go there, right? And you buy a pass for the day, and then they go, oh hey, they try and upsell you on. They're like, look, see this little guy here? You can cut the line if you buy this.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, and they do that now. It's called like Express Pass or whatever the hell.
What?
Yeah.
How
I'm not-
much is
Kinda
it?
messed up.
It's a lot. It's like $60.
That's it. That's
For
a
one
lot.
ride?
But that's
That's a lot for the
not
whole day?
For the whole day, it's worth
okay,
it.
all right.
If you don't have a season pass and you're just going one day and you're just going
I
balls
think you're
out one
making
day.
it up.
I'm not. I swear, I've done it. I've bought it.
So why
Purchased
wouldn't
it.
everybody buy a beeper?
I don't know. I think there's only a limited amount available, so you got to get there real early. I'm not joking.
Is there a separate line for people that have beepers?
If
Because
you
that
go,
would negate
so
the
get
purpose
this:
of buying
if you have the beeper, you go in the rear.
What?
You go in the back. They're like, come on. They're like, it's like a backstage pass.
Right.
It's sick. Like I'm going. Like
I thought you were gonna say like $1,000.
No, $1,000 for a
60
day.
bucks?
It's, maybe it's more. Maybe it's like 80.
Yeah.
But it's still worth it.
It's like 3 super pretzels.
Exactly. I would pay.
You know what
Those are some pretty kick-ass pretzels, I guess. Dude, even $100 a day I would pay to do that. You kidding
Yeah,
me?
that's what I'm saying.
F yeah. I'm getting in there, going through the back door of the ride. You know? Hell yeah. Hook it up.
I was reading something about an Avatar ride coming to
Yeah, but it's coming in
Disney
like
World.
20.
Yeah,
20.
it's coming super late.
Nobody's gonna remember Avatar by then. The whole
ridiculous.
generation is grown up.
Yeah, no one
You
cares
know?
anymore.
That's
Blue
funny.
guys walking
Is it real?
around.
2020?
It's like
No.
2015.
2015, I
That's
think. Which
way
is
too
still
long.
Very much expired.
It might be out in 3D Blu-ray by then.
Yeah.
Who knows?
They'll have a reboot by then.
Oh my God. Speaking of reboots, have you you know the controversy with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, you guys are really upset about
Yeah,
that.
we seem to be upset about that, and we kind of pick and choose what we get mad at. So a caller, actually, you know, let me play this call because this is totally appropriate for the conversation we're having. He sort of calls us out, and he's not totally wrong.
Okay.
Hey guys, it's California from Niche. On your last episode, you guys were talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and how you guys are just disappointed with Michael Bay's new idea of making them aliens. But I find it kind of interesting that you guys are getting all worked up and saying, "Oh, this shouldn't happen," when you know you're talking about a video game. And when people do the same thing for that, you guys are like, oh no, they should stick to their artistic licenses, and these people need to get a life.
All right.
No,
there's a difference.
There's
You're-
historical context here.
Thank you. Explain. I mean, what you know what we're talking about with the whole Mass Effect controversy?
Right.
Right.
So all these people are up in arms. Oh, BioWare, change the ending. No,
Right.
you don't change the ending. Like we said, that's like asking Christopher Nolan to change The Dark Knight.
Right.
You know, no, you can't do that.
And Mass Effect isn't a 30-year franchise that's been, you know, it's garnered millions
Exactly.
of fans across the world.
Exactly.
It's a little bit different scale.
100%. Ninja Turtles are an established story that everyone has agreed on.
Right.
The ooze, the sewer, the mutation.
You look
okay?
dubious.
What? Yeah.
What's the
explain-
problem?
Well, no. I'm listening. I went into panic mode when there was a caller. First off, with my HSN experience, I thought somebody was going to ask me about the processor or the cost of the product, how many colors it comes in. So I kind of spaced out a little
And if they
bit.
could use credit cards or
Then I
something.
spaced back in, and now I'm in listening mode.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry to throw you off like that.
Right now, it's all good.
So that's really funny. So I mean, what do you like? Do you understand? Like,
Were you a Ninja Turtles fan
Yeah.
growing up?
I was a big April O'Neil fan.
Hell
If
yeah.
that says anything.
Okay.
hell yeah.
Yeah, I guess you guys are very passionate about it.
Yeah.
Well, he's just trying to
different
call
level
us
of
out,
nerdom.
and he's saying, "Oh, how can you complain about Mass Effect 3 not changing when you're upset about Michael Bay changing
Right.
Ninja Turtles?"
And it's different because people bought the video game first, but then were upset with the ending. It's not like we're
Exactly.
going to see the movie and asking for a refund
For
after it's already
sure.
been made.
I mean, look, our track record at judging things before they come out, pretty bad.
Yeah,
We have
real
a-
bad.
We're about you know,
We thought nobody would
2%.
see Avatar.
Yeah, we
You're
thought
wrong on that
Avatar.
one. we seriously said that. Like,
We thought-
I was gonna see this pile of garbage.
We're like, oh, look at this movie. It looks like a Halo cutscene.
yeah, no, seriously.
And meanwhile, it like
Laughing, but it's
shatters.
true.
It like just shatters everything.
Yeah.
Completely changes.
I don't want to digress too much, but how about Beetlejuice coming back out?
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
that
mentioned
is
that.
awesome.
See, I'm okay.
And not a reboot.
Right, and that's why we said we're okay with it, Katie, because
Why?
it's going to be a 26-year evolution.
I see.
Right.
I
And
see.
that is fine. And you're going to get Tim Burton behind the reins, and also Michael
Michael-
Keaton.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on.
And
Speaking
even
of
if it is
Batman,
bad,
right?
the fact that it's not a reboot, I don't think will take away from the original movie.
For
right?
sure.
Like, it's not gonna. It's
Like, you can't destroy Beetlejuice 1 if you
Right.
make a crappy Beetlejuice 2.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going
Fair
to just
enough.
lie to
like
myself and
that.
tell myself. That's how I'm going to sleep at night. I mean, man, you see Alec Baldwin in Beetlejuice and you see him on 30 Rock. How is that the same guy?
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, he's still devastatingly handsome, but I just think like it's just they look like two different people.
And his
Oh,
voice
he
got
wasn't.
deeper.
Yeah,
It took me a second after I've seen it like 40 times.
Dude, yeah, that's him.
How old is he in
Adam
Beetlejuice?
Maitland.
Right.
How old is he in Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
I don't know, 30,
Hmm.
right? That
Yeah.
movie's what, 26 years old? Yeah,
Guess so.
he's got to be close to 50, maybe he's a little younger. I don't know. Man, oh man.
Still good looking.
Crazy stuff. any way you slice it makes us feel old.
Yeah.
That's all it comes down to.
I'm with you on that.
You know? All right, Girl Scout time.
Girl Scout time!
All right, Girl Scout
Woo!
time. Bring in the Girl Scouts.
Finally.
Can I just, before we get to the Girl Scout, the story, the actual content,
Yeah.
Okay.
have you seen the Girl Scout cookies this year?
Yes.
Or there's a new thing, right?
Well, there's the Savannah Smiles, like the healthy option new
Yeah.
cookie.
What is it, like
The
lettuce?
heck with that. I'm
Yeah.
going to table that for 2 seconds. Lettuce.
It's just lettuce with chocolate on it.
Organic, grass-fed.
Oh, yeah, explain this.
The portion size of the box this
Yeah.
year is like, it's like, hey, America, you're all fat.
Well,
We're
it's
cutting the
True.
size down.
I mean, no wonder the Girl Scouts have
yeah, but
unlimited
I want
funding.
more than like 4 Thin Mints.
Yeah,
like, what was
I
your,
agree.
like the Samoa?
Oh,
I'm
the
going to eat like
Samoas.
You're a big
3
Samoa person?
boxes.
Yeah, put those in the refrigerator.
I could destroy that.
Give
Dude,
them in
it's all about
Nutella.
it's all about the tag-alongs, dude.
tag-alongs,
Give me
the
some-
peanut butter
peanut
one?
butter one.
Those are
Don't
good.
look at me like I have 10 heads.
Crap.
Dude, peanut butter and chocolate is the greatest combination in the
I'm not
history
gonna
of
lie. I love
flavors.
those.
Although I will say they're better than like the shortbread.
Oh,
Yeah,
no
who
one-
the hell
Who
eats
eats
that?
that?
The trefoils?
There
Come
is
on.
a
Give me
warehouse.
break.
There is a warehouse
No one eats
somewhere
trefoils.
where there is all those shortbread
Yeah.
boxes that no one's ever bought because no one gives a crap about
They're
them.
made out of the
Yeah.
cardboard box it comes in, I think.
Are they
They're
made
true.
of real Girl Scouts? But no, but seriously, tag-alongs where it's
So
at.
good.
I mean, let's be honest. And other Samoas are.
I'm a Samoa kind of girl.
Yeah.
Thin Mint.
Thin Mint is good after dinner, perhaps.
I gotta use the. You know, there's an app. Now.
Yeah, the Girl Scout Cookie Finder app. I was
Yeah.
about to bring that up.
No joke.
I used it.
They
I
went
thought it
high
was.
tech.
I thought it was going to be an actual center where you could buy Girl Scout cookies from Girl Scouts. It took me to a business on the west side. It was seriously like an office, and I guess anybody can sign up for this and say that they're selling Girl Scout cookies for their daughter or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And so I went. It was in the back of this corporate office, and I had to just go through all these cubes.
Wait, you actually went through with this?
I went through with it because I couldn't find any places
Did you,
around
like,
here
end
that
up
would
in
sell Girl Scout
Narnia? It
cookies.
sounds like
It was really weird. It was on 10th
happened?
Avenue and 37th Street in a corporate office. Had
That
to
is
wade
so-
through cubes.
that is so
and
weird.
buy it from a dad, like an individual guy.
I like how you're in the fabric district.
really bizarre.
Get some Girl Scout cookies.
It's some
You
back
know what, though?
alley.
Worth it.
Really?
Totally worth it.
Why is that though?
Because I ate Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah,
for dinner
you
that night.
did.
And
yeah,
the
you
Girl
did.
Scouts are using. They're not using Square, but a comparable. What are they using?
I don't know.
I don't
Oh,
know.
for to pay?
Yeah, I'm telling you, they went high tech.
Creepy.
Thumbprint.
Thumbprint.
Can you thumb us $20 for this box of tag-along? The reason we bring up the Girl Scouts is because there's a new badge called the Netiquette Pledge badge.
Love that portmanteau. It's good.
Yes, for the past 100 years, the whole Scouts honor thing is now redefined.
Right.
What exactly are these people saying is appropriate? Like, what are the requirements for acquiring the Netiquette badge?
So they basically need to take something called an Internet Safety Pledge. This what are you laughing
What is
about
that?
for?
An Internet
This is put on by the
Safety
National
Pledge?
Center for Missing Children, so it's legit. It's
Okay,
important
yeah,
that kids
yeah.
understand
You
the
know,
safety.
Bacalar, heaven
Why are you
forbid something
scoffing?
good come
I
out
know.
of like a segment.
Hey,
Nothing
seriously,
good can
thank
come.
you.
I don't know.
love having
As
somebody
soon
else
as he
here.
started rattling off like a positive statistic, you were like, "Oh, it's so stupid,
Okay.
so dumb."
I can't help myself.
Bullying, we should be bullying.
Yeah.
Don't.
All right,
You are
so
such a
I'll
bully.
try and find the one glimmer
Yeah,
of hope
just-
in this article.
Just do me a favor, turn off your mic while we're talking
Okay,
about
hold
this story. So this is similar to the Internet Scout badge for
Yeah.
Boy Scouts that we talked about last year, but this is basically 5 tenets that these Girl Scouts need to follow. One is I won't spam others.
So
This is kind of funny.
It's actually really good advice.
Yeah, I understand why.
But time out. That's number one?
That's
number
one.
one.
Number
Don't
one is
spam
thou
anybody.
shall not spam?
But here's the thing, though. The whole basis of selling Girl Scout cookies is spamming people, right? Like, you're literally
Exactly.
spamming people in real life to
point.
buy things
For
that
sure.
they might not necessarily
Yeah.
want,
Yeah.
Fair point.
right? It's total advertising.
It should say in parentheses, except every year when it's freaking Girl Scout
Where
cookie
it's
time.
spam week.
Yeah. Number two,
Number 2, I will not bully, nor will I tolerate bullying.
perfectly
We need to get a
fine.
Girl
I
Scout
can
on
jump
this
on
show.
board with that. See,
Shut
I'm trying to
up.
be positive.
You're a total bully.
I am not a bully.
You would never be a Girl Scout.
In high school, like grade school, I wasn't a bully.
No.
Didn't stand for bullying.
Okay, I don't
of course
know where
not.
that turned then.
In hockey, I'm not the bully guy on the team. I'm like
Yeah.
the get along. Let's get along and have fun and play hockey guy.
Well, that's like the wrong place to be the get along.
Yeah, exactly. There's no
Pick
passive
something else.
people
And
in
hockey? Everybody wants to fight.
All right, maybe, but I'm, I see the silver
Time
lining.
out over there. Let him finish the
Yeah.
Fair
10
enough.
Commandments.
Go
You're
on.
certainly the CNET bully, giving everyone noogies around the office. Stop giving everyone. Oh man. Anyway,
Go on.
Number 3, I will follow the rules of internet sites, including those based on age of use. Means don't look at porn, parental approval and knowledge, and public laws. All right, that's kind of just.
That's
like
not what
a
I get
life
out of
rule.
that one, but go on. yeah.
Number 4, I will never agree to get together with someone I quote unquote meet online.
It's good advice.
Without first checking with my parents or guardians.
Okay.
Or Googling their name first. I like
Sure,
that.
you know, do a little.
Number
Spooky, yeah.
5, I will
Little bit
never send a
verified.
person my picture or anything else without first checking with my parents or guardians. Those are the 5 commandments of the Girl Scout Netiquette
This is like
Pledge.
snooze fest.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like numbers 3, 4, and 5 are all the same.
Yeah, don't talk to anyone online.
But once they've passed this and they take this pledge,
Right.
they get the badge.
Yeah.
But
Would you have
here's-
added something to this?
No, I wouldn't have added. I just feel like I'm all for internet safety for
Sure.
Girl Scouts.
Right.
Why can't we make it a little cooler?
Okay.
Like
Like
that
what?
sounds really nerdy to me.
Okay, so what are your
What do you-
suggestions?
I'd have to brainstorm
Oh,
it.
okay. I
Okay.
thought
But like,
you-
how about a badge for like getting more girls involved in like mechanical engineering or
Oh,
like
okay.
coding, put them
IT
through Code Academy,
certification.
IT
Right.
certification. Like, come on,
Right. I
For
agree
sure.
with
degree in
that.
IT. Like,
Yeah.
get them interested in science and technology. Let's not
Mhm.
like, I don't know. I'd come at it differently.
Oh, I'm with you. I think your idea is better. But
Right?
I mean, look.
I don't have a solid idea right now. I'm just stating my opinion with, like, this is a nerdy approach.
Yeah.
This is a very like predatory, kind of like paranoia-inducing
Yes.
set of rules too, right? This
There-
is meant to scare Girl Scouts.
Well, maybe
they shouldn't be
it
scared
is
of the
a little
internet.
fear mongering going on with the
Yeah.
Girl Scouts of America there. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I do not know.
Yeah.
See, I like the Boy Scouts. I think last year we talked about their geocaching badge, and I guess they would be given GPS navigations and they would be taught how to geocache. I think that's a more interesting way to go about teaching people technology. Not
Yeah, let's
scaring
learn
them to-
something.
yeah,
Let's teach something.
God forbid.
Hands on.
Let's do it.
Were you a Girl Scout?
I was a girl. No. I was a brownie.
That's
Wait.
pre-Girl
What's
Scout.
a brownie?
Brownie's pre-Girl Scout.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
That's like the Weeblos for the Boy Scouts.
Right. The
Weeblo.
Weeble. Yeah, it's called that.
You
Believe
worked
it.
for those badges too. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Can I just like interject for a second here?
You
'Cause
may.
It's making
Okay.
me think about like that badge earning. That was intense. Like when I was little, kids are getting iPads now,
Sure.
iPod touches. They get like expensive stuff. Like
Yeah.
I had to win like 6 science fairs to get like 64 crayons with a built-in Sharpie, like or a brownie badge.
Right,
like, what's
right.
the problem nowadays?
Yeah.
That was the pinnacle of achievement.
I was like, oh my gosh, my mom would sew it on.
Yeah.
Like,
All proud and whatnot.
what happened?
Yeah.
And now
it's
if you
not
don't
enough
have-
these
These
days.
kids don't want that badge. They want that and a computer.
Yeah.
A trapper keeper isn't enough these
Yawn.
days. I
It's
agree.
true. What do you think that's doing to us?
I think it's good and bad. I
Yeah.
think that's like a whole other conversation because
For sure.
I will tell you, working with like younger kids with the iPad and some of the games that they're playing and really getting an education, which sounds
Mm-hmm.
so cheesy. I have seen it firsthand and I'm amazed by it.
Yeah.
But in terms of this entitlement and want, like I'm all against that.
Right.
You got to earn. You
For
got to
sure.
work.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like that's changed a little bit? It's
Yeah.
such a whole other conversation. But
For sure. I mean, I do think it's okay for parents to incentivize their kids
Sure.
because that's how the real world works, and you get rewarded if you do good stuff. So I think that's cool. But I don't know, like these big sort of things. You know, like if I was 11 with an iPad, like
Holy cow! I can't even imagine that.
just all that. My biggest, possession was like
If
a
you got a
Discman.
JanSport like backpack,
Yeah.
you were like
You were the crap. Like you were.
Yeah.
That's where you were
a
at.
pencil box.
Oh, are you kidding me? You know, that was the big thing. It was like stationary. Why was it stationary? Why are we so
Yeah.
attached
But
to
it
it?
was
Mechanical
symbolic if you had like status symbols.
Yeah.
You had
Oh,
the
yeah.
gold and silver crayon
For
too.
sure.
You're like,
Yes.
Yes,
my
in fact, the iPhone is the 64 crayon box of our time.
It is.
It
It
is.
totally is.
That's well put.
Remember it had like the pencil sharpener in the back, the crayon
Exactly.
sharpener.
Yeah.
So cool.
It was the best.
No, kids don't know these days.
They don't know what they got.
Those kids don't appreciate anything.
Now all they got to do is tap a crayon, and then they're drawing with their finger, and that's
Yeah.
it.
Ridiculous. Draw
Man,
something.
get a life. Oh, when
I
was-
hate kids.
I hate children.
Let's go beat up a Girl Scout.
Let's get to a few of our rest of our calls today. We got some, and I know Katie wants to talk a little bit about the iPad, so one of these will lead into that.
Time to show the love. 866-404-CNET.
404.
All right, calls from the public time. Don't worry, no one's buying anything. Katie.
That was so Syphil and Ollie.
If that, hey, somebody got it.
Yeah.
Calls from the public.
Nobody
Nobody ever
picked
gets.
up on that reference.
I'm just
you
gonna,
don't even say
I'm
it.
gonna clap right here
That's
for
very
Katie.
cool.
You just
Well
proved
done.
your cred right there.
Thank you.
Head
ma'am.
nod to you.
Well played.
Woo.
Well played. First, let's get into the iPad stuff. Our buddy calls up, says he's a little let down by the new iPad.
Hi, this is Orlando from Shannon. I'm calling to talk to Jeff about the new iPad. I have the iPad 1, 2, and 3. I bought them all on launch day. The new iPad is the first iPad that did not impress me when I brought it home. A couple of first things I noticed was that it was heavier than the iPad 2. Immediately it started to get warm in the bottom left-hand corner after about 5 minutes. It also takes longer to charge than the iPad 2. And the incredible screen that is so high def, it doesn't stay consistent with the colors like the old iPad. It's kind of like looking at an LCD through polarized sunglasses. If you've ever done that and the colors seem to jump all around, look at a new iPad screen, bring up Google, and bring it up on an iPad 2, and then just kind of move them around and see if the colors on the new iPad don't seem to shift from warm to cool.
That's so weird. Okay, so you have a new iPad.
I have a new iPad. I had it a few days in advance before
Yeah.
retail.
Yeah.
And that's like all I've been covering on
Right.
air, especially on the CNN side. So trying it out, testing it out from everything he's speaking to. Here's the way I group it. I say if you haven't had an iPad and you've been holding out, which I think there's a whole category of people on,
Right,
perfect time to get one.
for sure.
If you are using your iPad a lot as your go-to device and you have an iPad 2, is it worth the upgrade? Probably.
You think so?
I do.
If you have
you're-
an iPad 2.
If you're using it, I think the barometer is like, are you going to be looking at photos and video a lot? Are
Right.
you using it as your go-to device? Like people I know, like executives, the iPad is their go-to unit.
Yeah, right. But
So-
I mean, I don't know. I have a tough time telling somebody who just spent $500 at the,
I'm not saying
at the
it's cheap.
least. No, I know.
Right.
But that's what you got to factor that in. I don't
For
know.
sure.
I think from 1 to 3 is okay.
I also don't think the 2 at $399 is a horrible price.
think it's
for
great.
anybody looking for
I think
a
it's
tablet.
awesome.
I have to say, in showing it around to just people around the bureau and the studio, I personally, with the Retina display, I was putting it next to the 2 and playing with things. I noticed it the most in text, but also in photo. I mean, like you can see the clarity in the Retina
Sure.
display. They were more mind blown than I was about it. They
Right.
immediately, when they were popping up video, because it supports 1080p,
Right.
that's the first thing they caught on to, which I was surprised by. So for some, it seems like the Retina display is this resolutionary factor.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it wasn't the huge default. I do notice that it's faster, and I was on 4G over the weekend. It was fast.
Yeah, 4G is real fast.
And to have the hotspot capability as a traveler, that actually, to me, subjectively speaking, from somebody that does a lot of business travel and is going
Right.
to use their hotspot, I mean, one day at a hotel is worth it for me.
Right. I don't know. Well, we did a story the other day where people literally couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah, they went to an Apple store and showed the 2 and the 3, and people
Right.
couldn't tell.
They were like, oh, really?
Yeah,
I
but
don't-
I think they were just scrolling through the home screen.
That's
though.
fine.
Just on the home screen, you probably wouldn't be able to tell.
Don't get me wrong. I got
more
my
obvious on a 1080p video.
You got to go to like really small text.
for
It's
sure.
an obvious
Oh,
factor.
there's the difference.
But I mean, for a great tablet, I think iPad 2 is great.
Yeah.
Here's the way I always put it in any article I was writing as well. iPad 2 was the best tablet on the market. You're not going to ask any tech expert that's going to disagree with that.
Right.
iPad 3 is like a bonus. It's
Right.
the more polished version.
For sure.
It's the best tablet on the market still.
Right.
So if you want to save $100, you go 2.
Yeah.
If you want everything and you want to be future proof, you go 3.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want to burn your legs, buy the third version.
Yeah,
Have you noticed that on your?
heat factor is coming up the last
That
few
came up
days.
crazy.
Well,
in
you
the
know what?
last couple
Every
days.
time Apple
116
releases
degrees.
Every time Apple releases something, people gotta come out with the the pitchforks, and they're
Right.
like, oh, how can we tear this thing down?
Right. It was like Antenna Gate. With
Antenna
the whole
gate, and now
iPhone
what are they
thing.
calling this? Like hot gate? I have no
Yeah.
idea. Warmth gate? Whatever it is.
Yeah.
It gets a little hot, but show me a high-powered device like a laptop
Right.
that doesn't get hot. They all get hot. Your phone gets hot. And you know what? 95 degrees, that's really not that hot considering it's less than your body temperature.
Yeah.
So,
We'll have to
cry
see
me a
how that one
river.
plays out.
Don't, maybe you can cook with it, whatever
Yeah.
it is. But it's not that big of a deal. Eric Franklin did a test on
Right.
his own, and it wasn't burning any holes in
Maybe
anything.
just put the iPad down for a little bit. Let it
Yeah.
cool off. That could be a good sign that
Maybe
you
you
need to take
go
a break.
outside.
Yeah.
Maybe you
One-
go outside.
Total digression, but I love the iPad rumor mill because you could brand yourself as like an Apple rumor expert.
Yeah.
You have a
Yeah.
full-time job.
We have a separate
year-round.
podcast just for rumors.
Absurd.
Yeah,
true.
But I
it's
love like
crazy.
the sites because when it starts to really heat up and like an announcement's coming and an invite's coming, like the sites that be like blingblingsupertech.biz
Yeah.
says they have one.
Right.
And they're like, according to an anonymous source. Like I'm obsessed with like finding those articles
For sure.
Right.
leading in.
That's
I'm-
pretty funny.
We should definitely just start rumors.
You
for
can.
The next
Oh, you totally
iPhone.
You
can.
can,
Yeah,
and we
let's start
have.
And you have
doing
a
that.
source, a platform to do it. You
Yeah.
can make up
Easy.
anything you want.
Anonymous Chinese source.
I heard
Yeah.
the iPhone 5 is coming in 5 colors.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Five.
it. That's it.
Don't know what colors. I just heard
NFC,
it.
Bluetooth,
Yeah.
and everything.
NFC,
You just
Bluetooth
I just made up a
5.0.
technology, and
Yeah.
it's in there. That's pretty good. Unfortunately, we're out of time, guys. It's been a lot of fun. Katie, it's been a blast.
Yay.
Promise us you come back.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and not just because you brought gifts.
Yay!
Yeah,
I would love to come
because
back.
next
Really liked
time
it.
we're giving you the gift.
Yeah.
All right?
The gift of a second appearance.
No, it'll be much cooler than that. You'll be able to unwrap it. Okay?
I'm in.
You're in. Rock and
Cool.
roll. Everybody, please check out this Thursday at midnight on Spike Television. All Access Weekly, hosted by new 404 fan
Yeah.
and best friend, Katie Linendoll.
Go and check out katielinendoll.com. You can also follow her on Twitter. That's at Katie Linendoll.
Rock and roll.
Check it out. There it is.
Pretty sweet. All right. That will do it for us today. Give us a call, 866-404-CNET. And no, we can't give you Katie's number, chat room. These guys are relentless.
Yeah.
No, we can't do that. Call us and
Shameless.
tell us how much you enjoyed us having her on. Or you can email us, the404@cnet.com. That's going to do it for us today. Friday, Russ Frushtick.
Yes.
And next week, Tony Hawk is back.
Ooh.
All right, that'll be fun.
Cool.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm Jeff Bacala.
And I'm Justin Yu.
Amazingly big thanks to Katie Linendoll. Check out the show tomorrow night on Spike. We will be watching, so should you. We'll see you.